This segment is sponsored by iChiro Clinics. Chiropractic care can have a lasting impact on patients. And one person who knows that all too well is this guy, Dr. Michael Kwast from iChiro Clinics, whose life was dramatically changed by chiropractic care. In fact, it's the reason he's sitting here with us now. Hi, Dr. Kwast.
Hey.
It is true. It can be life-changing. Your story is a testament to that. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so people always ask how I got involved in the chiropractic, and really it was just kind of by accident. When I was a child, I had horrible migraine headaches, and nobody could figure out why. I was going to all these different doctors and specialists and taking more pills than you could shake a stick at, and it was just like nothing was working. They could give me enough pills that I didn't know what planet I was on, but certainly wasn't fixing why I was having a migraine headache all the time. And these were bad. I'd miss school. I would be at school. I'd be throwing up, and it was really an awful situation. I couldn't play sports because every time, I'd get jarred or hit my head, I would get an instant migraine. And really nobody knew what to do. And it was just awful, very stressful as a young person. And we ended up at the dentist one day just to get our teeth cleaned. And he was talking to my mom, and my mom was telling him how I was having all these headaches and it was terrible and, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, you just need to go to the chiropractor. And my mom was like, oh, no, no, we don't do that. Those chiropractors, they're weird. They're crazy, And he's like, well, is what you're doing working? And my mom was like, well, nothing's working, And he goes, well, maybe you should go check it out. And so we went to this guy who was kind of weird and crazy. And we went to him, for several months. And at the end of that, I had no more migraine headaches. And it was like one of the most fantastic things ever. I just couldn't even believe it. In fact, I was kind of mad about it. So I went back to my family doctor and I said, why didn't you just tell me the day I had a migraine, just go to the chiropractor?
Yeah.
And he said, well, I don't know anything about that. I just do drugs and some surgery, and that's what we do. I'm not really trained in that. And I'm like, say what? What do you mean? You're supposed to know everything. You're a doctor. And he kind of laughed and said, nobody knows everything. We have specialists in all fields, and there's numerous people who have different opinions in all different specialties. That's why there's an OBGYN, there's a podiatrist, there's a pediatrician. There's specialties because nobody can know it all.
Yeah.
So this was kind of eye-opening to me. And I didn't think that way as a young person. To me, doctors just knew everything. You just shut up and you do what they say, right?
Yes.
And he told me, he goes, hey, that's working great for you, though. You need to keep doing that. And so that's what I kind of did. And as I got older, and started to look around and trying to find out what to do as a career, at one of my mentors, he said, what happened in your life that changed everything? And I'm like, nothing, I couldn't think of anything. And then I remembered that, because what would have happened to me if I just kept just taking all these pills for all these years? I don't think it would have turned out in a good place. And so I am very motivated every day, just a purpose to try to help people the way I was helped. And, the sad part is a lot of people that I talked to as I got a little older, and they were like, oh yeah, we knew chiropractic would help. And I'm like, well, why didn't you say anything? And so people aren't saying stuff and they're not talking about it. And I decided, you know what, I have to say stuff, because there's somebody that's that kid that was me sitting out there right now who's having problems and they don't know what to do and nobody's saying anything. So I would rather say something. If somebody wants to say no, that's okay, but at least I did my part, right? So it's just trying to get the information out to people that, there might be ways you can be helped and you're just not aware of it.
Yeah. And maybe your physician too, just as in your case, just not knowing that that's an option. Well, for more information or to make an appointment to sit down with someone from the iChiro team, visit their website, iChiroClinics.com. Good story, Dr. Kwast. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, thank you.